Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. Hello again everyone, and here we have Brev on the trigger of the Mark IV Daystate 177. He's launching Predator Polymag shorts at his feeder on Squirrel Hill. Myself and Bro are also out today. You'll see us in a bit, but we'll start the ball rolling with Brev on the trigger, shooting from his car as he normally does, lined up on the first victim, ready to take the shot. And that's the first squirrel down of today. See, there's quite a lot of build-up of grass. He's flattened that a little bit so we can see the feeder. More ideal if it can see more, but never mind. On to the second victim. See, let's have a look at the dead body. And I've sped it up 5 times normal speed, as per usual, just to save you all the hassle of watching this in real time. This video would be way longer than it is currently if I didn't do that. And another one bites the dust, as the song goes. He's a legal limit in England. I don't say the UK anymore because there's been a few changes to other laws. Always know the laws of your area. Here comes another one, and down to the ground it goes. Myself and Brev both have firearms certificates, and we have over the legal limit air rifles, but generally speaking you can own one under 12 foot-pound in England without the need of a licence. You see them coming thick and fast here, and the legal limit air rifle taking them down quite successfully. Distance is 15 yards or thereabouts from the feeder, so you can get quite close. It doesn't put them off. A little bit of camo screening, and you sit nice and still, and then when they sit nice and still, you shoot them in the head, just like that. Can't really see the approach of these squirrels. A lot of the times they just appear out the bushes by the time the camera's been woken up, if that is indeed a word, but you know what I meant. Sometimes you don't get an awful lot of footage. Other times they mess you about terrible. But eventually they do come to feed. Very rarely do they run away. So it just pays to be patient. Like I said, you just need them to sit still. And a nice accurate shot is what you need. Ideally you just want one shot, one kill. You don't want the animal to suffer, you want it to be dead pretty much instantaneously. There's no advantage to jumping at the car, chasing it, or at your hide, running around the woods. If it gets in a hole under a tree or down a rabbit hole, you wouldn't want to put your hand in after a wounded animal. Sometimes I'll do that. Muscle spasm and them sharp little claws will grab hold. They're meant for grabbing trees. But the headshot was good. That's what should happen every time pretty much. And that's what does happen if they sit on the feeder and adopt a feeding position. Sub 12 foot-pound air rifle is perfectly capable of killing a squirrel with an accurate shot. Squirrel's skull is pretty thin, as I said in previous videos, and the pellet will go in one side and out the other, no problem whatsoever, killing a squirrel cleanly, just like that. But you have to be accurate, and you have to do it not once or twice, you have to do every single shot. So our methodology is to wait for them to sit still in a feeding position, or, as we found after we started doing it, if they could go on alert. Sometimes when I used to do the click of doom on my Theoban Rapids, then they would look over solidly at the direction of the noise and become very still. And that's just as good as it's sitting feeding. Results the same. Dead squirrel on the ground. This is the last squirrel for Bruv today. With a nice accurate shot, the squirrel down on the ground. Nicely done there. See the carnage when he went a bit closer. Didn't pick up any today, I don't think. A double figure bag of squirrels is always good, and 11 is a great day. Over to the Air Arms S410 of Bro. He's launching Barracuda Hunter Extremes. More 177 loveliness. The 177 does just as good a job as a 2.2. Accurate pellet's an accurate pellet, an accurate rifle's an accurate rifle. His chaffage is busily hoovering up some spilt grain. Very often sprinkle some on the ground, just to convince other animals to stop, give the illusion that it's nice and safe. He's pigging out, as you see. There he is. Let's turn the camera on. Expecting it to run in by the look of it. And this one does mess about. His first victim of the day. As you can tell, even on 5 times speed, they do mess about sometimes an awful lot. You have to be very patient. That one's gone for the pile of food on the ground. We often put some there, just for this type of occasion. Sit up, fella. Lovely. Well placed pellet does a very good job of killing these things. That's just a few nerves. Check the link in the description to Ted's video describing exactly why the kicking happens after a headshot. I'm pretty confident that they're dead. I don't care that they move because of the brain shot. I don't believe for a second they're suffering. Pair of squirrels in view here. One of them's going to get it. I'm betting the one on the right. Yep, good guess. Sat side on. Anytime they afford you a perfectly good view of their brain and sit nice and still, it's always a good time to shoot. That one isn't too worried by the fact that his mate's been shot. Bro's tracking him. Looks like he's going to meander off to the left there for a second. Now he's had to think about it. There's some proper food over here on the floor. And that could be the worst decision this one makes on this day. I think it probably will be. Sit up, fella, go on. Just like that. My preferred shot is a straight on shot or one quartering towards me, either to the left or the right. Drop the pellet straight on their eyebrow. Goes down into the brain, into the body. Dumps all its energy. Produces a nice clean kill. We're not shooting these for food. We have eaten them in the past. They get left for the foxes and badgers now, and they disappear overnight as if by magic. So they are pretty much fully recycled back into nature once they've passed through a fox or a badger. On the rare occasions the flies get to them, the maggots will do the same thing. This one's come in and sat up rather quickly. The trouble with video when you have to get the camera ready first before you can shoot, but this is looking good. There we go. Very often we look over the top of the gun just to make sure the shot was good first and then pan the camera onto it. There's a piece of card on the front of the ledge of the feeder there. That's what Bro uses to shoot at. Brev uses those reactive targets. The yellow, when you hit them they turn different colour. I think that's how it works anyway. You can see exactly where the pellet went. Always do a test shot before you start. Normally take the gun out and test it the day before as well. But on the morning, just serves for a bit more confidence. We shot them like this before, sat on the side of a tree. Well, as I've proved in a previous video, they move twice as fast as you do. Your reaction time won't beat theirs. And head movement is one of the worst things at catching someone out. He was tracking that one. As soon as it came to a halt and he was happy, he let rip. A gentle squeeze of the trigger on these guns. My over exaggeration saying let rip isn't really what you do. The gentle squeeze of the trigger and the rifle does the rest. Don't think this one likes the squirrels dead on the ground. He's sat nice and still where he is. So he cops for a pellet to the head. Don't always have to be feeding, as I said previously. Just have to be fairly confident they've come to a halt. Feeding is by far the best mind, in my opinion. You can virtually count the seconds they bob up and down to eat some food. Pile of grain on the ground. Caught this one's attention. You can see he's racking at the bodies quite well here so far. Until he realises he's dry fired. Most of the time we got spare mag. He has to put the new mag back in, push the bolt forward, get ready for the shot. He's done that rather quickly. That's the thing about my Theoban Rapids. A good design feature is when you try and cock the rifle and there's no pellet left, it won't let you cock the rifle. You know full well you've run out. It wasn't long after that one was dropped, another one came in. It's a good time of the year this. Right, end of June. Babies are weaned. You get them wandering around in 2s and 3s. There's not a lot of natural food around, so a food source like this is like an oasis in the desert. You can see this one having a look at the dead bodies. Not caring. That's another advantage of the little piles on the ground. Sometimes it's easier for them to feed on that than go anywhere near the dead bodies. This feeder is quite low to the ground. If it's any higher up, probably have some sort of stick going up to it. Some sort of log of doom. You're surprised how well they work. This one can't figure out how to operate the thing. I think we've killed all the intelligent squirrels and just left the stupid ones behind. There we go. That's what we want to see. Feeding behaviour is quite comfortable there. Wait for it this time. There we go. All that grain on the ground will be gone in a day or so. By the time most of the other animals in the forest come around, rats, mice, deer will eat it. All the birds, things like jays will come down and they will take an awful lot in one go. Pheasants as well, it's a pheasant shoot. There'll be pheasants wandering around. This one's going to sit still now, there we go. He has to have a free fall off the top of the feeder. And that grain on the ground would be gone in no time. They won't necessarily be by squirrels. Surprised how much the animals of the woodland would eat in a short period of time. I've said in other videos that if you put high value things like peanuts in amongst the wheat, which is what we use, they will scrat out all the wheat looking for more of them, and then the animals of the forest would eat it. It only takes one squirrel to do that. Looks a little bit low, that one, but it's still done the job, I think. Is he going to shoot it again? Yep. Was a fraction low. That's the beauty of a headshot. They don't tend to run anywhere, and you can get a secondary shot off if need be. And it could be for any reason. It could be because you move, the squirrel moves, the pellet's a little bit crooked or a bit bent, doesn't quite fly as true as it ought to, despite all our efforts to check our pellets when we load them. It's rare to have a wounded one. Very rare indeed. And when I say wounded one, and one you have to get it and chase. Air Arms S410, one of the best guns ever made in my opinion. And you looking to get into air rifling, if you could find a second hand one of them, that'd be a fantastic gun to own. This one does mess about quite a lot this time. Don't think he likes the squirrels on the ground. Sometimes they play you up and you have to get out and pick up. Be surprised. We used to think it used to kill it for half an hour or more, but we've had other experiences where you've gone out, picked them up, and within 5 minutes there's been a squirrel there. If they've been nearby, once you disappear and hide again, they don't seem to notice that you've gone into a hide and you're 15 yards away. You can get away with an awful lot with squirrels. Looks like he went to take a shot there and failed because he hadn't cocked his rifle. There we go. I might be wrong, I think that's a blue tit singing in the background. A lot of birds in these woods, and these squirrels would go through their nests and their fledglings in a heartbeat if they had a chance. Right, just under the back of the ear. It's another good shot. Back of the head shots, they seem to work quite well as well. As you might have noticed by now, this video is quite long, despite the fact I've shortened down the times to the shots. I wouldn't want to give you the false illusion that they just come in quickly and you can shoot them one after the other. You have to be patient. Still on bro shooting now. He's racking up a nice body count here. As I said before, bruv had 11. Anything over 10, we always say is a great day out. I don't know what happened there. It looks like he hit him straight between the eyes. Well, over to the side a bit. Maybe the pellet tracked down under the brain, possibly. But like I said before, they don't run away. You can get a second shot off pretty quickly. And there it is. Just goes to show how accuracy is so important. This is the last squirrel for Bro's session. Is that the right one? I don't think it is it? He finishes the session now and goes out. Collects all his bodies, 16 being the number. Brilliant day out there. Over to me now, and I'm using a Theban Rapid 177. Again, using Barracuda Hunter Extremes. And you can see my feeder's been gnawed at. It's rather annoying to turn up and find that they've chewed holes all in your feeder. You can see there's a big chunk of rock on top of there now, hiding the hole. Obviously they've chewed their way in. That's what I thought at the time. Another chaffinch, I think. They haven't actually been chewing their way in, they've been chewing their way out. I didn't realise at the time. The first victim for me is coming down a tree. I think what they've been doing is coming down. Once the hole was produced, they would come down and get inside the feeder, and they could sit inside there quite happily and munch away to their heart's content. And watch this one have a good look. He's wondering where the hole's gone. That's what I took this to look like to me. He's having a good look. Where's my hole? I think this one could be one of the culprits who chewed a hole in. Certainly been using it, I think. There's a jay come in. I could shoot the jay. The owners want the jay population reduced, but I'd rather shoot the squirrel because that's my primary mission. I don't want to miss the squirrel. There's a chance that the squirrel might not go away, but there's a chance I might scare it off, I don't know. See how these two interact together. They're not only the best of friends. If you look over to the left there, just beside the tree, I just saw some movement there. I'm not sure if that's a squirrel coming in or a pheasant. Can't tell with this small screen of mine. On the editing software, I've got quite a big screen, but the little box I'm looking at is probably 8 inches by 5 inches. It's quite a lot smaller. Hard to tell what's going on. I really wish this squirrel would sit still. I would have sped this up normally, so I'll let you see what they get up to in the wild. Neither of which is worried about the other really, they're more predisposed to the food. And the squirrel's not showing me a good shot. In hindsight, maybe I should have taken the jay first. Maybe the squirrel wouldn't have run too far. If it does disappear off, the jay will be getting it. Oh. He's gone still on the side of the tree now. He's asking for it. I'm lining up on him ready to take the shot. There's always a danger when there's two things in shot that one might spook the other. Just as this jay decides to fly off, the squirrel turns, which would have been a missed shot. But now Bro's tracking and takes the shot now. That sort of thing would have led to a complete miss and a possible loss of the squirrel as it ran away. See the squirrel climb up the back of the feeder there, side of the tree. Got a log of doom poking back that way. Said in previous videos, the reason we leave these sticks there is they do like to climb up to the feeder that way, and also other squirrels use it and leave their scent on it. They can climb over the top of dead bodies on the ground as well. This one's going to get it straight in the head. Incidentally, my 177 Theban Rapid has a 17-shot magazine. Clever people at Theban, when they built them, decided they could get more holes in due to the smaller size. So another 5 shots over the standard 2.2 magazine. This one seems to have set up home under the feeder. Nope, he's coming out. I'm tracking as he goes. I want him to stop if possible, so I'm trying to make a noise. I thought he was going to run off screen then. That's exactly what you don't want. Now I have to get it to hide and finish it off. Because of the dip in the road, I can't get a secondary shot off. Not going too far, but it's not dead. This is exactly the point I was trying to illustrate earlier on when I was talking about squirrels sat feeding comfortably or on alert and rock still. You can possibly get problems. You can see I've finished it off now. It's bounced in the track a bit. Didn't go far, but it wasn't dead. I've sped it up now because I've come back up and I've decided once I've left the hide, any dead bodies, I'm going to pick them up, bring them back. Once you've broken cover, you might as well do that part. Not ideal. Filming the birds here, and you notice I've put grain at the bottom of them legs. And as I was filming the birds, another squirrel comes in. Often see in the comments people telling me I should be shooting them wherever and whenever. And this is a perfect example of what happens when you try to do that. This will be me shooting against all the principles I come to believe are useful on feeders. If I was free hunting, I would probably take them in all sorts of ways. This should show you just how easy it is to get caught by head movement. I thought I had it in my sights, but it was moving. And anybody who tells me that it never happens to them and I should shoot it at any point in time just to hurry it up by a minute or two, I shan't believe you. That's exactly what I should have not done. There's a perfect example of what happens when you try it, or what can happen. I might have hit it, but I bet I'll miss it more than I do hit it in that situation. Anyway, it's a perfect illustration as why you wait till they sit still. I'm pretty sure anybody telling me that they do it all the time is deluding themselves that they don't miss more than they shoot. Anyway, I think we'll wait till they sit still this time. Like that, really. And that's the result. Obviously I'm texting bro at the same time. And bruv as well, we're all out together. Various parts of the wood. We can text each other and keep ourselves updated on what's happening. I can only assume that's text messages flying around. See, I've been out and put some wheat on top of that rock I've put there, just in case any get on the top again. And hopefully it will get them to sit still. Someone's got a pet peacock in the bank there. Hear it quite often in this location. Didn't fancy my wheat on the top, I don't know why. This one obviously comes in irregularly, went straight to feed on the ledge. I always put a bit of wheat on the ledge as well. That'll do if he sits there again. This time, fella. There we go. Back to normal service. Quite happy with that shot. It's not the type of shot they walk off in a hurry. I've lent the camera right the way forward now, and that noise is my rifle might rub it on the zip of the hide. I think I might have heard that one in the leaves. There's two there now. I probably haven't noticed until they come right close together. A bit of chasing ensues. The dominant one takes up position at the front. He gets first dibs on the food. And while he was taking the food, the other one became still enough to knock off the side of the tree. Start to think maybe I should have shot that jay at the beginning. Not to worry. Maybe the squirrel wouldn't have run too far. Never mind, that'll be an experiment for another day. The trouble with that lane they've put up there is a bit of an edge right where the leaves end due to vehicles going up and down. Just sat there. There's another one on the tree. That's why. I wonder what was going on. He'll do though if he sits still. We'll take him out first and hopefully the other one will run. This time. Sometimes they just chow down like a cow with its nose in a trough. That's another time I'll shoot them as well. I do prefer them sat up feeding though. I think the other one might have ran off actually. One's gone for the bit on the floor. I think I might have been out and picked up in between times. Looking at it. This time. That one's bouncing around all over the place. It's not running around, even though it looks like it. I can assure you of that, as you'll see in a minute. I'm about to get at the hide and then finish it off and retrieve it. Not something I like to have to do, as I've told you before. I don't know what I did wrong. I wobbled. Didn't get myself in a good position. I'd been moving around inside the hide a bit. I'd repositioned my sticks. And when it came to aim down, I wasn't really where I should have been. I shouldn't really have taken a shot in hindsight. But you make these decisions at the time. And that's one thing videoing has given me, as a way to review what happened and work out what I did wrong. I've been watching it through the scope just to check just how damaged it was. You can hear me shooting it point blank in the head. Now I'm picking up the rest of the squirrels. I thought I might have picked up already, but I hadn't. Hard to remember some days. That's another one in the bag. I usually keep a bag for shot squirrels, especially in the summer. Just attracts loads of flies into your hide otherwise. Or you can put them around the back, so it's back to me. I can see the back of his head. That's the back of the head shot. Got myself a bit better organised with my sticks now. They've got big spikes on the end, and when they're wedged in the ground they're a bit difficult to move. I'll give it a second one for good measure. Pretty sure looking at it the first one was good enough. I think that might be a Eurasian buzzard. I think. I'm sure I'll get told differently by somebody on the internet. Just a guess. Is yet another target coming in. And by magic he's sat on the feeder. Here we go. And that's exactly what should happen when they sit and feed properly. As you can see, I'm having quite a productive day here. The owners will be pleased when they see the final tally. He fell for the bit of wheat I put on the top. They all count. I can't quite believe it. See what happens here. nothing, indifference. Gone on the top of the feeder, doing the munch. I decided I'm going to shoot him where he is if he stays there. Seems to be quite happy feeding. There we go. Yep. And it drops. Looking at him through the scope just to check on him. And when I'm happy, turn the camera on. You see, just keep behind the trees. It's the trouble with filming. That log of doom works really well, that one does. He just can't help himself but run up logs. Just appeared around the back of the tree now. I sped it up a bit. Wait for it to turn up. And that's me putting the safety back on. I'm not sure where it's gone. Then I spot him. It's all the way over there. So he didn't run at the back of the tree at all. He ran to the ground. Came in, had a look, ran away. What are you going to do? Just have to catch him again next time. On to the next one. A lot of running around, messing about. Am I surprised? No. Go on, son. There's a bit of free wheat on the top of there for you. Look out. Top of the head shot inbound. I like those shots. Do a lot of damage. Easy to pick up the brain on there. As you can tell by the 5x logo, we've had to speed this one up again. There we go, he's munching away. There we go. Quite a successful shot. Flea bag scratch on the log of doom. Usually plenty of fleas on these things. Don't normally see ticks. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a tick on one. Definitely fleas though. Look at it. Flea ridden. I'm going to ruin them fleas' lunch. If you only sit still. That's more like it. Excellent. Knocked him back on his backside. On to the next victim. As you might guess by now, I'm building a nice little bag here. Usually normally sit 4 to 5 hours on a general session. Everything I get's normally in that time frame. Sometimes we'll come at first light. Here we go. Hit that one through the neck, believe it or not. Flapping around. I did try shooting it from standing up, but I ended up walking up on it and shooting it point blank in the head. Hear the claws on the bark. It's normally a good giveaway that there's a squirrel nearby, as it's quite an extended piece of footage here. even though it's 5 times speed, does go on a bit. Didn't this one mess about? Can get quite frustrated. Normally this sort of thing happens when you're not here to view it. They do eventually end up on the feeder. But after that much messing about, any opportunity is a good opportunity. Stayed too long there, fella. Nothing wrong with the gun or the pellets. Any miss is down to me. Well, they are all down to me anyway. If my gun's not set up correctly, or I'm using the wrong pellets for it, or any other combination of those things, it's pretty much my fault. Here's another one. This is my last shot of the day coming up. Gone for the top. Sat nice and upright. Shouldn't be a problem, should it, this? I haven't cocked my rifle. I don't know what happened there. Really don't. Can still see it. Secondary shot. So I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I pulled it a bit. They don't tend to run off with a headshot. A nice stack of bodies there. And at this point in time, I do believe myself and Bruv were both equal on 20 squirrels for the family record. And here's another 20 that should have been a 21 if I hadn't missed that shot. Oh dear me, I missed an opportunity. As well as a squirrel, there's mine and Bro's piled together, and there's mine, Bro's and Bruv's with a new family record at 47. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.